This is Andre Banks with Banks Credit Chat, coming to you with an interesting article I found from USAtoday.com. Not a site that I usually go for credit information, but it did a really in-depth and detailed article on how long does it take to get a credit score. I'm going to put a link inside the description, but it's definitely one to pay attention to. I'm going to kind of dive right in. How to build a credit without a credit card. When you're working on your credit, a good credit score is one of those big milestones to aim for. It doesn't mean you're done, but it's a sign that you're doing well. You can qualify for most top credit cards, and you likely won't get denied on apartment or loan applications. You may want to know how much time it takes before you have a good credit score. While this is different for everyone, it's possible to get a reasonable estimate based on other consumers' experiences. But first, we need to cover what qualifies as a good credit. So what is a good credit score? A good credit score is a FICO score from 670 to 739. FICO is the most widely used credit score system and uses a score range of 300 to 850. There's one other popular credit score system called Vantage Score. It also uses a score range of 300 to 850. Under the Vantage Score system, good credit is a score between 661 and 780. If you're going to check your credit score, it's better to check your FICO score, okay? Since that's the one lenders use the most often. I've done videos on that, brother, in the past. How long does it take to get a good credit score? And this is where just a good piece of information, so you got to dive, try to read through it. It typically takes about 1 to 2 years to get a good credit score when you're starting from scratch. That's if you don't make mistakes that hurt your credit, such as paying late or accumulating lots of credit card debt. Anything that negatively affects your credit will, of course, slow down your progress. The reason it takes a while is because of how the credit building process works. The first is, if you're building credit for the first time, is opening a credit card account. Okay, that seems self-explanatory. To issue a credit score, FICO requires that you have a credit account that's at least 6 months old. Okay, it's something else to pay attention to. Vantage Scores can issue a score even if the account hasn't been open that long. That's good to know. With both FICO and Vantage Score systems, the most important factor is calculating your score is your payment history. Okay, we did a video on that as well. Each on-time payment builds your credit score. This is the biggest reason why you won't have a good credit score right off the bat. You need to develop a strong payment history. Consumers who open credit card accounts, use them regularly, and always pay their bills by the due date generally reach the good credit score mark within 2 years. Rebuilding to a good credit score. The 1 to 2 year timeline covers those who are building credit for the first time. It doesn't necessarily apply if you're rebuilding your credit after your score has dropped, though. You'll still have time to improve your credit before 2020. Here, how you can do it. When you're rebuilding your credit, the time it takes to get a good credit score depends heavily on why your score went down. If you charge too much on your card and your credit utilization rate gets too high, you could find that 1 or 2 months by paying off your balance. On the other hand, if you file for bankruptcy or had multiple late payments, it could take years for your credit score to recover. The path to good credit. It's smart to set credit card goals, and good credit is common starting point. You can be exactly sure how fast you'll get there, but if you follow the right financial habits, you'll make the steady progress. Fortunately, there's nothing complicated about what you need to do. Get at least one credit card that you use regularly. Consumers often start with credit cards for bad credit, since these are the easiest credit cards to open. Avoid charging too much. Aim to never use more than 20% of your total credit. Now that's interesting. I usually say about keeping under 32%, but they say use more than 20. Never use more than 20% of credit. Most importantly, always pay the bill on time, and ideally in full, so you don't get charged any interest. That's all you need to do for a good credit score. After that, make sure you stick to the same habits so that your score keeps rising. Okay. All right. It goes in why it doesn't influence your dependence on products used to receive compensation from other partners. Offers appear here. When your site, always see our full advertising disclosure here. When they talk about that, there's a lot of advertising on this site. But just to sum this up really quickly, 2 years if you're starting from scratch, and it can be a couple of months if you're trying to rebuild. But if you have large credit issues, which is collections, bankruptcy, it could take years. But set a goal for yourself in terms of always looking to improve your credit score. Depending on where you're starting out, keep the 1 to 2 year mark in the mind. If this video has been any value to you, please subscribe, hit the like button. Until our next video for Banks Credit Chat, we're out.